Nena Ijeoma Okeke. That was a very insightful one. And a lot of information. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, we'll go straight to the panelist section. We'll have all of the previous speakers, and I'll mention. Can you please put your hands together as we welcome Oladele Dosunmu to the panel session? Yes, Ijeoma is already here. Please welcome Aliyu Ilias to the panel session. Please put your hands together. Thank you very much. And we'll also welcome Mr. Stephen Agogo from Layout to join us in this panel session. Please put your hands together. Okay. While we wait for Mr. Stephen Agogo, a lot of things have been said today, and we're going to do a round-off or kind of summary of this. So a lot of things that the speakers are not able to highlight in their speeches or in their presentations, they can actually pay attention to now. And then the most interesting part is you get to ask questions. You get to ask questions, and we're not just saying just you, it's both ways. There's a need for feedback. So the speakers need to know if you've been listening or if you understand. So every speaker has one question to give the audience the answer. And that particular attendee or participant that answers the question correctly has a gift. Okay, so moving on, we're going to start the panel session immediately. One more time, please put your hands together for our panelists. Thank you very, very much. They have all spoken really well, very informative, and goes to show that they're very knowledgeable in their field. Now there's a question for you. Yes. I would like you to talk more about AI, rather, we'll talk more about automation, definitely, and then we'll say, as a contact center expert, how automated are you? We want to have your feel. I would want to know what you have to think about when it comes to automation, personally. How automated are you, and what particular peculiar experience are you giving customers, and can we emulate you? Thank you.
Okay, for me, not all our channels are automated. So we want to give customers flexibility and choices to pick from. So if a customer does not want to do self-service, they can walk into the shop. They can call into the contact center. They can tweet at us. So depending on what channel the customer wants, what they're comfortable with. So we have a variety of channels for them, and then they pick the one they're comfortable with. For me as a person, in terms of automation, it's a big question for me in terms of, are we ready for automation as a nation? In terms of, does our culture actually take to me? Because for me, interacting with customers builds a rapport. It builds loyalty. Some customers, I don't know if it happens to some agents, some customers will prefer to go to a particular bank because of a particular gentleman there, because of a particular meeting, and the way they make them feel when they come. So you know that customer, you can actually just do your transfer. Do you understand? Or check your account balance, but they will not just walk into the shop or walk into a bank because of how they make them feel. So for me, don't restrict your customers. Give them other channels to contact you. You can also automate certain channels, but it has to be, you have to look at your data. What's your data telling you? Do you understand? You have to understand what your customers want. You have to involve them in the process and get feelings from them. If it's not going to work, you're not going to force it down there because you don't have enough money of the program that you have. If you make it difficult for them to get support, they will move to others. And the fact is, we're all selling the same thing. What differentiates us really as a business
for you is, as one who has stayed abroad, or then studies abroad, and then with your knowledge about Nigeria and every single thing, business and customer service in Nigeria, can you just compose service delivery in Nigeria and abroad, and how its impact on profit increase?
Okay, I gotta be honest. Service abroad compared to Nigeria, they're miles apart. Miles apart. Even though we're making all these efforts to do things like Ijeoma said, it's all about giving the customers what they want. Okay, Nigeria is trying to catch up with the West, but they kind of leave people behind because they're trying to catch up. In the process of them doing that, basically not giving the customers what they want. So service delivery in the UK, you can't compare it, because the UK is fully utilized. It's like whatever you do, it's not, like I said earlier, the moment you buy something, they expect it there and then. In Nigeria, once you come in there, you better flip the switch, you're not going to do it straight away. You have to adapt. But Nigeria's got a long way to go. Seriously, got a long way to go. I know people are making efforts to do things and get up to speed, but I can just basically concur with what Ijeoma said. We basically need to look at the market, see what they want, adapt it to it, and don't run before you, or don't run before you work, basically, because you need to adapt it to basically people. Nigeria's behind, so we need to adapt it to that.
Okay, about 10 years ago, I would say customer service wasn't this good. So I want to say, or ask, so far, do you think customer service has increased?
It has improved a lot. Like I said, it has improved, but still, there's a lot to go. But I like today, gathering today, I'm kind of disappointed, because people need to be here to actually know what's trending, what's the latest. They need to actually get the knowledge base up there, but they're not here. So that tells me that they're not receptive to changes at all. So for me, customer service companies need to focus a lot more on customer experience, like we said before, to bring them to where they need to be at. Because they don't want to get involved, unfortunately, and that's why they're lagging behind a lot.
All right, so we talk about good service, good customer service. Do you think good customer service is expensive?
If you don't, no pain, no gain is what I say. Okay, if you don't train them, don't blame them. Okay, so it's expensive. Obviously, you gotta pay for it. But eventually, once you pay for it and you train your team, you're gonna get what you get, what you put in. And obviously, the customers will be happy. And the bottom line is basically all we're talking about. It's all about money. Okay, so if you train your staff, guess what? You get happy customers, don't you? And what happens to your profit? It goes up there. And that's basically it.
Thank you very much. Do I have any input from the other panelists?
Thank you. Like actually mentioned on Oladele, there's what we call co-production in customer service. Co-production simply means when you engage the customer in the process of service delivery. Now, if you look at co-production, it will help your analytics. It will help you to identify what they want most. Because, like we said, some people want to go to the big stores, the mall, because of the experience itself. So those people will not be in their house and order things to come to their door now. They prefer to go out to really enjoy the service. Why other will want to be automated? I do not have the time. Like, let's look at Lagos, for instance. Someone in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Kano, would prefer to have things at their own door now. Why someone in Abuja would be very, very happy to go out to really, because Lagos, if you are in Agogo and you want to move to VI, you know what it, maybe you need to follow VRT because of exactly. So you have to look at that and really understand these people very well before you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. I think the next question goes to you actually. So we'll be talking about automation, artificial intelligence, and infusing all of that in customer service and improving profit. My question to you is, where do you see artificial intelligence in Nigeria in customer service in the next 5 years?
Well, that's very, very interesting one. First and foremost, nobody wants to cut costs. So, looking at the benefit of cutting costs, next 5 years is going to be massive. Because where you need to employ 50 people, you need to just get one artificial, and answer 100, 1,000, 10,000 people. So company wants to cut cost. But the question is, are we customers, we are all customers, going to have value for our money? Yes. If you look at China came up to join the artificial intelligence very late. Very, very late. But they are the number one now. So because of our own peculiar circumstances, we even like to try everything. I tell you, most companies, immediately they got to know Mr. K, Mr. Ada, everybody wants to go and have their own. So for me, in the next 5 years, it's going to take away a lot of things. Because of the company, they want to reduce costs. It's expensive, but at least the profit level in the long run is very, very fantastic. So in the next 5 years, every company will have their own artificial. When I say every company, those companies that are really competition-wise, that really need to compete. Because you have, Nigeria is a very funny country, because you have Mr. Leo, Mrs. Ada, so really want to test that and really go through it. So because of that, I think in the next 5 years is going to be like a normal thing. Perhaps let's ask ourselves, the Nigerians even know the difference between when they are chatting with a person and when they are chatting with a machine. They advertise. What about when they don't advertise? Because chatbot is there already, it has been there. It's because someone take lead to really advertise.
Okay, I think she will have to say something about it, obviously, because we need to look like we're having a conversation. So let us know what's going on here.
Okay, for me, I think automation is an internal thing. We're trying to improve the internal process. Culturally, is this something we want? Do you understand? So for me, if you're doing it, it should be a big boss inside or not outside. So for me, the moment if I have an account with you, I can try the first time, like you said, experiment. How does it feel like? For the second time, I would. So if I see it, even if they have other news in the doctor center, I'll say, I don't want to talk to you because I feel like I'm talking to
Okay, he said something. Okay.
Please, at what point? At what point? This switching, there are some questions you cannot answer. And don't let us mention you. So I think there is some questions this machine cannot respond to. At what point does it switch to human? That's the thing. So I think that's where the red alert should come. Once this machine cannot respond to you, there should be a signal that the human has to take over.
So that's in my presentation, that's what I talked about. There has to be a seamless escalation to the life agents. The moment the machine is stuck, ideally just have that escalation to the life agent and immediately set the life agent everything that has transpired between the machine and the customer. So the life agent is almost a seamless handover. The life agent just starts from where the machine ended and closes that.
All right. Mr. Aliyu, you said something earlier during your answer to that question. Would you like to say something? Okay. Mr. Aliyu, you said something when you were answering the question earlier. You said co-production. Engage the customers in the process of production. Can you throw more light?
Thank you. I will go remember our Mr. Biggs. We have Mr. Biggs, right? Yeah. So if you get to the restaurant before, you have to sit down. Someone will come and ask for your menu, and they'll bring what you want to your table. For now, you have to go to them. You pick let's look at people shopping mall. You pick your basket, that also, then you go around, you pick. You have been engaged and involved in the process. So because of that, there are some things you don't shift those things to the next person. Probably when you get to pay, you discover your bill is very high. Will you say someone that's really, do you get what I'm saying now? So when you have picked everything you want to pick, you plan to maybe expect maybe 5,000. So by the time the machine bring out your bid, 7,000, 5 boost, push 4. You understand? There was time I want to buy airtime, and I subscribed to the another person's school. Do you get? I subscribe to what? Another person's phone. Whose phone? It's mine. So it's because I'm engaged in what? Imagine if I call somebody, call them directly that please help me load source, and they did such error, what will I do? I hold them responsible. So we have to look at all our service points and find a way of engaging. And not even at that, also it will also give you room to know what they want. Some customers want to be chat with their LinkedIn. So I want you to call them. So as a company, you have to do more of call or more of email. You have to look at that. Because Nigeria here, if you get some people, you don't even do. So now who has the blame? Is it the company that made you, or you that not check the email? So you have to look at what you want and
All right, thank you very much, sir. Can you pass the mic to Mr. Stephen Agogo? Yes, Mr. Stephen Agogo. While you were talking about the tree customer experience management solution, yeah? This question is actually about the solution you were talking about during your presentation. How simple, how user-friendly is that particular solution or software?
The solution is quite easy. Based on basic Microsoft server. However, when it comes to usage, like I said, you have a bouquet of services. You have a bouquet of services pre-programmed on the service kiosk, which is the first start point, based on the workflow of that organization. So the starting point is to design and understand the workflow and design it to make it very, very simple for the internal users as well as the customers. So there are some services that you will need to actually have a one-on-one with a customer service agent. In that case, at that start point, you will have a ticket and you will meet with the agent. But there are some simple services like that you necessarily don't have to meet with an agent. I'll still go back to the telecoms example where, for instance, you load a card and you want to activate your data service. When you get to the service point, you don't have to see the customer agent for that, because she's just going to probably take that complaint and log onto a platform and get it resolved. So, but at the point of getting to the shop, you can actually tap that service. It's going to have an interface with the organization's CRM manual, and you will get a notification that within X, Y, Z number of minutes or whatever your issue will be resolved. So it's very basic, very, very user-friendly.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said something earlier during your presentation. You said something about can be used in different departments, from HR to operations, marketing, and all that. Now, let me ask you a question. The question is this: do you have to come to that organization and set it up to their particular or specific operational rules, or how do you do it?
Yes. So, like I said, the experience management solution can be tailored to different verticals, and the idea is to, there are some basic features, but to design it based on the workflow of the organization. So we have let's say an organization with 5 branches, 100 branches. You have a major server in HQ. You have software running in all the branches, and then from the back end, from the central point, you can now manage what happens in all of the branches. That way you have standardized waiting times, standardized customer service, and what have you. So, yeah, you have to come to that organization and set it up according to what fits their need.
Okay, yeah, I really need to get that clarification. Anyways, having heard from our panelists, I know there are questions on your mind. Please try to make your questions very, very, very straightforward. And in case you have questions that have A, B, B, C. Under the A there's I, and under the B there's I. Please help us so that we can have the questions clarified, so that our panelists can actually give you answers. These questions I can see your hand over there. I think.
All right, thank you. My name is Samuel from VIP Express. I've really learned a whole lot from all the panelists and discussants this afternoon, in the afternoon. I want to very briefly my question, and that is, I want to ask the automation, sorry, your name again is Ijeoma. All right, great. At what point with too much, or with so much become too much? Because often the time we try to get the clients trying to send them information, send them details, or try to be, talk in advance, or try to perceive, or try to really look at how we can get to answer that question before they even ask. All right, and of course we send that person the information. And from your CV at the back, I see that you work with the contact center at 9 Mobile. All right, personally I've been using 9 Mobile for many years now, and before now, even when I call contact center of number, it takes me like 1 or 2 minutes before they pick it up. But now, when you hear those normal stories that comes in and you press the number when you want to speak to someone, it takes like 20-30 minutes. Then later we get to ask that, okay, you get some SMSs that been sent across to you. Then you dial the DND number or you try to really report that no one yet they keep coming. Yes, some of them are used, some people are not used. So I want to ask, at what point will this too much become a nuisance to the customer in many cases? All right, I don't know if.
Okay, so let me provide some clarification. So those value-added services that you're getting are not from 9 Mobile. They are for third parties. And so for value-added services, it's a subscription-based and interactive-based ones. Okay? So what happens is when you subscribe, some people actually mistakenly subscribe without knowing into those things. But for DND, for example, if you send DND, you should stop. But if those value-added services still continue coming to your phone, please escalate it to us. And what happens is we actually find or report those MASPs that are provided. So they're not from 9 Mobile, okay? But if you have that issue. And then concerning the calls, 20 minutes, I'm not disproving what you're saying, but that's going to be very hard. Because one of the things we look at constantly, and one of the beautiful things about the contact center is everything is being monitored. From how long, the longest wait time for a customer on a network to the shortest wait time that we ever had. We don't have those anymore. Because what we've done is we've actually activated our IVR to be very comprehensive and to speak the language the customer has. And they're issue-based in the language that this customer speaks. So you hear something like missing credit or drop balance, which the customer will say, I had 5 naira and I missed. It's in that language, that's how detailed it is. So 20 minutes, no, definitely. Or if you give me your number, I'll check it out. That's the easiest thing I can say.
For any of our panelists, Layer 3, Stephen Agogo, Aliyu Ilias, Oladele Dosunmu, and Nena Ijeoma Okeke. All right, then it brings me back to this. Our panelists are going to be asking you questions. Okay, there's a question? All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Abba Mohammed, and I'm from Customer Service Awards. My question is with Ms. Ijeoma. How do you look at the comment by Aliyu Ilias on artificial intelligence and customer service in Nigeria in the nearest future? That is on massive job loss and unemployment. That is to say, it will actually reflect the jobs within the country. What is
Okay. For me, so I've I think it was a Deloitte, I think it was a Deloitte that provided a survey. No, it was a report about jobs that will be extinction, that will go into extinction like in 20 years or 10 years or something like that. But one of the things you need to understand is somebody has to program that, so that artificial machine is taking over in terms of interacting with customer. Somebody has to manually, and it has to be a customer experience specialist who would understand what the customer is saying, analyze the statistics coming in, and then know what to improve. Do you understand what to impute to that artificial intelligence? And then not only that, even the surveys. So some customers you can do automated surveys for them. But some customers, you have to actually go into the field to hear what they're talking about. So one of the things about customer experience is you have people that will go out, meet the customer in their own environment, in an environment where they are comfortable in, and be able to find out issues about what the challenges are in their environment rather than having an automated thing. So it's not, like we talked about, there has to be seamless escalation. So what I know is that there's going to be a reduction. I mean, when we started in the contact center, as much as you have, I've seen a 600-seater contact center before. I mean, 5 or 6 years ago, it was the norm. The more volume of calls that you get, the more bomb on seats that you have to have. But now, it doesn't make sense. So if you tell me you have a 600-seater contact center and you're not an outsourcing agent, for me, it's a sign of inefficiency. Do you understand? It's a major sign of inefficiency. Because you're looking at, why are the customers calling in the first place? You have to start addressing it at the root cause. What's marketing doing? What product and distribution doing? What's IT doing that are driving the customers to the contact center? So I don't think anything. Reduce, yes, definitely. It's that. I don't think there's anybody that has like a 600-seater contact center in Nigeria. It's just not possible. Do you understand? However, the number that you need to reduce drastically. But you now have people that are customer experience people who will map the experience that you want the customers to have and constantly update. That's key.
What I think is, we are not saying there will be job loss for customer service agents or customer service representatives or customer experience experts. I say generally, there will be job loss when there is better technology. It's reducing already. So now I think Mr. Agogo can really tell us more about how they are using their technology to reduce all this.
Yeah, I mean, clearly so, automation and technology will reduce workforces. So for instance, today, in the banking sector, you have the ATM galleries fully manned, unmanned. You can do your cash transactions, you can deposit, you can withdraw. I mean, our solution is saying, okay, we can go beyond that to provide you a virtual service machine where you can now do the non-cash transactions. That means you can take your ATM card, you can deposit a check, you can print your bank statements. Clearly, I mean, if you have that side by side, an ATM gallery, it definitely means you don't need a branch. So you don't need 4 tellers, you don't need cash officer and all that. So automation definitely would lead to that. Have I think we should also see the benefits because you also need service at some orders at some points where you can't have access to a physical branch. So at that point, there's also the value add for the customer. Thanks.
Before I go on to my own question.
Cost, and of course a couple of people are concerned about job loss and the likes of them. I think in my opinion, maybe not necessarily, because obviously there are some industries where artificial intelligence might not necessarily replace what a human expert will do. So my question to him is, as much as businesses might want to imbibe or adopt that solution, artificial intelligence. But again, we all know that one of the disadvantages is it's not as cost effective to maintain or to repair. So how really would a company, marry that particular fact that, okay, let's deploy this, because at the end of the day, it will be reducing cost. But then again, when you look at the cost of maintaining and repairing the so-called machine at the end of the day, is it cost effective? Secondly, what happens to the compassion aspect that a live agent will put into servicing your customer vis-a-vis a machine like the Siri that all it does is just churn out whatever data you have actually programmed into that machine?
Thank you. You see, like I said, the CEOs, they want to see the bottom line. How much are we making? Do you get? So because of this, they want to cut costs. Now, the question is it cost effective? Yes. If you look at it from the long run perspective, and like I said, AI can attend to a whole lot of number at a time, 10,000, 1 million, right? So the long run, the cost of maintaining it, if you look at it, take it together, it is still economical to adopt AI compared to people like Ijeoma said, 600. There's a question for that. If you have 600 seats, now we expect to have 50, 100, 150. Do you get? But the question of being compassionate, that's where the question, that's the major challenge. I raised a view that Nigerians do really know when we are chatting with human or machine. One of them, think Kudi.ai, all you need to do, really go in, try to say hi. The next thing is that, hello, I can help you to pay this bill, this bill, this bill, this bill. So when you mention the particular one you want, it's going to bring immediately the bouquet, different one that you understand. Immediately you input it will give you how to pay and what have you. And once you pay, that's all. So really, if you look at what we really want, some of us want convenience. We want that service now. Like he said, we really want to go out in order to do some transaction. So now, that compassionate part, that's where we need to do our analytics now. At what point should we, attend to people? Should we let it be one-on-one? Perhaps there could be a discussion with you and machine, and after that machine, you can still call. Because I recall one call again, give a call, and hello, I hope you enjoyed the service. What is your experience like? Do you get? Perhaps look at all this machine that we even use. If you buy something online, you are more expert in that. Now there will be a net promoter score that will pop up. Once it pop up, they will tell you to rate the what? The service. You say is that good, bad, and what have you. It's also another way of getting that. It cannot replace human, how do I call it? Interaction. It cannot. But it's cost effective for a company, and in the long run, the convenience is what we really want. Because once you can get what you want, I think they'll say at least to 80% they have. So like Ijeoma said, some people would like to go to the full workshop, while some people prefer the automated part of it. So I think it's even good if they give us that type of choice. Because if you look at being called, if you call some organization, the challenges you have, it's another issue. So it's better you just do it and get your service. I think that's good.
Okay, Queen, if you remember, I think about 10 years ago, if you walk into a bank, they have a ballroom. Most banks have ballrooms. Most banks have actually decommissioned their ballroom. And so for me, I'm thinking, what? Okay, so in the contact center, for example, you're dealing, I think for those that, how many people are in the contact center industry in here? How many people? You are in the contact center. I mean, if you know, one of our biggest issues is actually managing our agents, for example. And so you are supposed to have 20 agents at work. What happens is, the next day, that day, you probably have, one will call in sick, one will be running late. Do you understand? And you have your customers. Those are the kind of headaches that we face managing agents. And sometimes, at the beginning of the shift, they are peak. Towards the middle of the shift, they start going. So if you talk to an agent, beginning of the shift, very enthusiastic, like very passionate. By the middle of the shift, how may I help you, please? But one of the good things that automation helps in terms of chatbots, for example, is the same level, the same consistent service delivery at any point in time. And if enthusiastic, there's no downtime. All the time, it's the same level, very consistent. However, it's 10 years ago, customer experience. It was about customer service in Nigeria. But people are moving away from that. And the truth is, if you're proactively managing customer experience, I was just talking now that if one job kind of becomes extinct, another job comes up. I was listening to something that said, in 10 years, 10 jobs that I will currently doing now will become extinct. And there are about 10 new jobs that will come in. I'll give you a typical example. Now we have certification for analysis, business analysis. 15 years ago, business analysis wasn't a big deal. Who cares about business analysis? I think the only analysis that happens is in the financial sector, in terms of looking at your accounts, profit and loss. That's what, but now, business analysis is a big deal. There's certification of business analysis because companies are realizing the fact that you cannot do anything or achieve much without understanding the data that you have, without understanding the customers that you have. And the only way for you to understand these customers is to go back to the data that you have. Do you understand? And understand what the customers are saying and be able to implement the insights you get from them. So if this job goes down, leave me, the other jobs are coming.
Okay, while she was talking, I thought of something, and I was like, okay, for the automation, doesn't this streamline the request for inquiry at every, like for the Leo, could he?
So like I said, it depends on the vocabulary that you repeated and how you mapped it. So if a customer, I'll give you a typical example, I've been involved in a project, but if you depends on the keywords, the certain keywords, that you programmed that either the chatbot will understand. So for example, if you pick in and say, if I'm a chatbot, for example, and you build tariff, what's the tariff for this business, for example, what business or something? Immediately, I go down and start giving you the information that you want. Do you want the tariff? Do you want the business rule? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? If you click, you want the business rule, it goes down for that. It's just what you program that. So it's not just you put it there. Like an express, the customer should ask this, then give this, then give that, then provide this, then provide that, then provide this. If the keyword is this, then so it's been mapped. And that's the job of the customer experience person, because you have to feed it and define the experience you want it to have.
Just before we go on, sorry sir, just before we go on, Mr. Oladele Dosunmu, this question was to you. When Queen was talking about compassion, my mind went straight to your experience abroad and here. How does AI, with regards to compassion, compare with customer service right here?
You mean the experience abroad?
Yes.
Obviously, artificial intelligence basically, like we said, is the machinery. But compared in terms of real life, you mean? Okay, compared to abroad and here. Okay, abroad, one thing I'll tell you, my salary, okay, one of the key KPIs is based on good customer service. Okay, if I don't deliver good customer service and I don't get good feedbacks, I lose my bonus. So, it's important because you have to look at those things to actually make sure it is effective. So that's probably one thing they should not looking at Nigeria. Make managers' salaries tied to customer service satisfaction experience for them to actually get what they deserve for it. So that's what I'm saying, that's a big difference.
Thank you so much. Ijeoma wants to add to that.
Okay, sorry. About the compassion part, it also depends on the keywords you put there. So if, for example, customer says, I'm upset, and the chatbot hears that, it triggers something. So if you program the chatbot, and if the customer says, I'm upset, escalate to a live agent immediately. Or if you say, if the customer says, I'm upset, ask the customer, why are you upset? The customer says, I'm going to compensate you with this and with that. I'm sorry that you had. So it's what you feed into it that you trigger.
Like I said, the last one I discussed, I chatted with, I said, I had a bad service. And he said, oh, that's what I'm here for. That is the language. But what I expect is this, like I said, the escalation should get to the live agent. And I expect I will not get a call. And I also checked one, all what that AI could say. One of this one I showed is, hello, good morning, I am here for you from morning till night, one of them. So what I now discover is this, I now have to research further. We have fixed chatbot and we have the real artificial. You see, the real artificial intelligence really, it will mine that information and give you something. So what I think we have more is more of chatbot that is programmed. You understand? I think that's more. Then in terms of job loss, please, China they are invidious, right? And they are the major place for what? For this technology. So I think they are not complaining. They still have enough what? Yeah, so I think.
Good afternoon, everyone. So someone just mentioned I'm upset, right? And you said upset is a word, like a keyword to trigger escalation. So where does local languages come in for AI? Because I'm thinking of different words for upset in Yoruba language. Like, you know how Yorubas can be very upset, and if I'm an Igbo person, how I can be very upset and I can use different words to express my displeasure. So how does local languages, how does AI cater for local languages? Thank you.
Hello, what's your name? You did not do Amaka. Okay, Amaka, okay, like I said, it's what you feed into it. I'll give you a typical example. So constantly, on our IVR, okay, in coming up, because we serve customers in the 3 major Nigerian languages, and Pidgin and then English. And some of the things we constantly do is review the language that we have on our IVR. Pick an Hausa person from Kano, for example, and let them look at that script. Do you understand what they're saying? And then they'll start finding out, you know what, if you are Meduguri, if you are an Hausa person from Meduguri, speaks a different type of Hausa from the one from Sokoto. So, you know, we have to start that whole balancing. Do you understand? So if I'm going to do what you talked about in terms of, if I want to serve my customers in Nigerian languages, do you understand? One of the things I will start doing as a process is, I will get the people that speak the language. I will start off with not getting all the expressions of someone who is angry. And it's not just the expression alone, the tone. If you call in, I can say that it's because it's artificial, so there's a lot of things you can do with it. I can set up a particular tone or pitch, that if a customer calls in and is at that pitch, something has to set in. That means this customer is upset. If a customer uses a keyword, or something, I know, okay, that customer that woman has not told me that she's upset. If Mompino is I'm upset, that one has gone to cursing level. Do you understand? But I can just as much as make it exhausting, just put her. So every single day, that's what I talked about, monitoring, constant monitoring and improvements. So you will hear something that, sometimes the chatbot will hear something they've not heard before. Maybe a word that nobody has, maybe it's a word that someone in a kitty will understand. But the moment I hear and I talk to the customer, feedback from the front line who that issue have been escalated to, we'll go back and the customer use this. So we need to impute this, make it a keyword for this or this and something like that. So it's constant, continuous monitoring and continuous improvement.
Amaka, are you?
Yes.
All right then. I think we have the last question, or just before the judges actually, let's say judges, before the panelist actually goes ahead and asks questions. Okay, we have 2 questions from Abu Ali and...
All right. Good afternoon once again. My question is directly to Mr. Oladele. When we talked about the gap in service delivery in the UK and in this part of the world, I think we also have to consider the people, the level of development. Typical Nigerian person finds it difficult to obey or to even follow instructions. So I think services or salespersons are doing well in trying to treat the customer right. What I think maybe if this will have to do with something with level of development of the Nigerian people. So what will you say about that?
To me, we've said this all across the board. It's basically knowing your market, knowing the people, giving them exactly what they want. So basically, you do your analytics, basically study the market, observe, and then bring what they actually need to the board. It's basically simple. So that one shoe doesn't fit all, like you said. So it's basically observing and knowing exactly what to give them. The moment you understand the market, believe me, you solve a problem. The problem is people, or the companies in Nigeria, they're so money focused, bottom line focused, that they don't take the time. Like 9 numbers is doing that, a few companies are doing that, but the majority of the businesses are not doing that. So, and if you don't understand your market, you can't understand exactly what they need. It's basically doing the basics to get to what you do customers what they need, basically. Any more?
I made mention of being have a profitable customer and people that are nasty. You know, it's become so obvious that I talk about level of development. The thing is, after you have actually take your time to understand people and provide what you want for them, Nigeria is we also want to experiment. Even as customers, we want to do what? Experiment. So does that mean that some people intentionally want to like challenge you at what you do? And this is where you have to have what we call this standard operating procedure. Yes. By the time someone wants to push you beyond the limit, you have to tell them that yes, this is our what? The standard. Because trust people, they want to ask you more questions. And you want to be empathetic to an extent. But you won't do that at the expense of what? Of your company. So in terms of I made mention of service delivery or customer experience in the northern part of Nigeria. I'm sure maybe you're from the northern part of Nigeria. That's why you are looking at it from that perspective. A call negotiation person, someone who resides in Lagos, if you give him bad service, he's going to tell you to your face. What are you doing? You know, if you use normal style and say, no, why are you doing this? But someone there will think, yeah, let's just accept it and let's move to the next level. So I think, like you said, analytics will solve the problem. It doesn't matter, the satisfaction is one. I want to bring it to the layman, So if you have like 10,000 number, there's a place you want, you get to. So they will give you your own level of what? Of attention. There's someone that is bringing 10 million, they'll be, I don't know, it's a very, very, in fact, one of the most new, but no,
Yeah, so it's just basically about paying attention to your customers' needs. It doesn't matter how the level of technology is. It's just, if you can get that right, you got a business which is going to go for a long time. And the more you treat your customers right, they'll come back to you, basically. So it's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, a lot of people are finding it difficult to do.
Okay, another thing is, some customers can be very stubborn, like we've already said. But one of the things you need to understand is, you just also, there's a lot of customer education. So I'll give you a typical example. We've gone from, before your phone was just for you to make calls and receive calls, right? And so it is still your phone. You can actually still find your SIM card on the floor. They usually just throw your SIM card away and take the phone. But now, guess what? They throw away the phone and steal the SIM card. Because your SIM card is your bank. Now, with all the things we have, USSD banking and stuff like that, so your SIM card is even more important than your phone. Because your SIM card is your bank. So sometimes when customers lose their SIM card and they go to our outlet and our experience centers to do SIM replacement, and we give them the requirements that they need to bring, they're always wondering like what they had. But you have to take out your time because some will shout I will do this, I will call the police and stuff like that. But you know what, you need to take out your time to explain to them. And one of the things I told one of them, I said, you know what, anybody, if I have this easy process for SIM swap, what's going to happen? Anybody can come in and swap your line. And then all of a sudden, your line is working and it stops working. And then the next thing you see, alerts just leaving your phone. Do you understand? Because they're already just moving your phone. It takes them seconds to move your phone from one bank to the other. Do you understand? But when you're able to explain to people like, you know what, this is for your protection. I'm guiding against anybody defrauding you. Some will still go away, still angry, but most of them will kind of understand what you're doing. And so it's customer education. And let them understand why you have certain processes. Nigerians, like we say, yes, they are stubborn, but you have to keep educating them. They want to know why you're telling me I can't pass through this door, why I must pass through this door, after I'm already at this door. But you need to explain to them why.
All right, just as we round off this session before the question. Okay, comment. Sorry, immediately after that comment, please, the last question should come up. Thank you.
Just speak to what you just said. So for the typical SIM swap procedure, you need like typically police reports and all. I think that's one of the main things on an affidavit. So for layer 3, you were saying we'll give you a solution where you can even do your SIM swap without getting to shop or maybe using biometrics.
So when I was giving my presentation, I explained about regulatory body that's a regulatory body. So you have a regulatory body, and we have NCC, for example. There's a detail to it. There's a process to it. You have to be physically present. So those information that you actually need to place so is NCC saying it's part of the requirements by NCC, not our own requirement, but NCC, and you have to follow your regulators.
So he has to convince
NCC
to review or review.
Exactly. So part of the things that they go through is in conjunction with the bank, because now NCC and CBN are working hand in hand because your SIM card is the bank. So they have to agree on the process.
We really need to round up this session.
All right. I just want to recall, Ijeoma, you actually came for consumer forum in Abuja. You know, I was there too. So we are, if you look at most questions that people tend to ask, is just like what? Now, are you saying you that are the telecoms cannot come up with a particular, what you think, work and present it to NCC? Because I was looking at the argument that day.
So I will give you a typical example so that you understand part of the things. Someone gets a line, for example. If the process is you don't get those requirements, do you understand? It's easy for you sitting down here. I know that you would have called her, and you have called Mr. Oladele, and you have called him, for example. So I have your frequently dialed numbers. So I can walk in and, if the process is that, I can walk in and do it. I can sit down here and I've moved your money out. So part of the things that they come up in terms of regulation is they look at what is happening. Customers are also talking to these regulatory bodies, complaining to them. Regulatory bodies also speaking to the operators and finding out they have to come up with a way to prevent the fraud that is happening. Because it's easy for us, I'd rather go through the pain and know that my money is assured than it's easy and then I'm looking for my money.
All right then, thank you so much. Do we still have that question, or these comments have been able to shed light for you?
Well, it shares some light, but I just want to still say this. Mr. Oladele Dosunmu said something earlier, and that has remained in my mind ever since. You said, comparing where you're coming from, UK and Nigeria, if a program like this is being organized, perhaps it would have been much more attended than what it is now, and you were quite a bit disappointed by the attendance. So what do you think? Is it that Nigerians are not ready for customer service, or we don't even know what it is? Because I believe Lagos is the most educated state in Nigeria, and for events like this being well publicized, we should have this place here because we have more informed customers here. So comparing from where you're coming and here, what do you think is really the issue here, and what can be done for better subsequent programs in any case. Thank you.
I think Nigeria is a bit passive when it comes to things. We don't take things serious. Even though it affects us, well, we rather complain than do anything about it. So, empowering people, getting people involved is hard, because me and Mr. Aliyu, we've been talking about this, and we know it's a hard thing, but I think we just need to do more outreach, more free programs, basically, more seminars, just go to companies, the root, and basically the companies are the ones that need to push their people, and if they don't take it serious, it's a bit difficult. So we need to make them realize that it's very, very important to get your team engaged in things like this. It's basically more education, but there's a lot of work to be done. And I can't tell you one particular solution is the problem, but Nigeria needs to just know that customer experience is more important than anything else, because if you haven't got the customers, it's not going to work. So it's just a lot more things to be done. I can't tell you because obviously I'm not based there, but based on what I've seen so far, we got work to do.
Basically, I think I can have answer to that. You see, companies that take their customer experience serious and business imaging, and they are doing fine. I tell you, and I can mention companies because what we do basically is research, customer experience research. From what we have, most companies that are out of business, that is their major problem. They don't look at that customer service and customer experience. And the thing is, we are getting educated the more every day. So, and the more we are more educated, the more we think we should go towards who offer better service and better experience. And that's why I gave you an example of mall now. Before we have the common shopping mall that we all go now, there are others now, that also, but they came with experience basically. Then virtually everybody, do you know ingredients, what they are making? Perhaps they may not even be from this part of the country, but they are doing fine. So if you bring a superior experience, you will disrupt the next person. And that's why we all need to prepare for that.
Thank you very much to our panelists and all of our listeners and participants today. Thank you for asking questions. Then straightforward, we're going to do this, please, so that we can actually go straight to lunch. All right? So, I'll start from Mr. Stephen Agogo. You're going to ask a question to the audience, all right? When that question goes, you have 5 minutes to get, or 2 minutes to get that answer ready. For the audience, 2 minutes to get that answer, to answer that question. Please, we need to be snappy with this one.
Okay, my question should be quite straightforward. I'm not going to go technical, but there was a point made earlier that you have different touch points, where your customer can access your service. Okay, so basically my question is, from the discussion so far in my presentation, we have the touch points basically split into two major areas. What are those 2 areas?
Maybe you rephrase it.
How do you, typically, how would you access, I'll use the banking industry, how do you access service from a bank if you want to do a transfer, for instance? What are the 2 ways you can make a transfer? The 2 major ways.
Through your phone and the ATM machine.
Okay, so so I think it's correct, because through the phone it's virtual, ATM machine is going to a physical device. But my most appropriate answer will be, physical experience in the bank branch, and then virtual, but that can pass, because those are 2 separate channels.
All right. Who was able to answer the question? Who was able to answer that question? All right, can you walk forward, please? Everybody! Wow, everybody will have to get up and move forward. So your question now.
All right, thank you. During the presentation, I talked about 3 analytics. 3 types of what? Analytics. So I don't know.
There's a hand there.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We talked about.
Please, your name.
Modupe is my name. Modupe Oyetoji.
From what?
Reassurance.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you. We talked about descriptive, what happened, okay, descriptive, what happened, then what will happen, as the descriptive, what should we do to what happened?
Did she answer that question correctly, please? Somebody else. I can see a hand here. Don't chorus it though. I can. All right. Is this spot okay? All right.
Okay. All right.
Congratulations.
Wait there. Go in the middle and take picture.
So moving on. All right. Your question to the audience, sir.
Pretty easy. I was talking about values earlier. Can you mention 4 of the values that I mentioned, please? Anybody?
Somebody has to get this right because I did a recap of it. I did a recap, please.
Compassion, accountability, and excellence.
It's an E, but you're not getting it yet.
Empowerment.
Correct. All right. Please come forward for your gift. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my question, I talked about 6 trends in the automation. What are the 6 trends of automation that I talked about? 6 trends. I discussed 6 trends in automation.
Praise the Lord.
Go ahead. What's the answer to the question?
Okay, yes, in automation, you pointed out first one, you said the analyzing data, or rather, data gathering first, the analyzing the data, then.
I don't think you're on the right track, actually. Please. Do we have somebody that is, we're not joking here. Let's do this.
Visual IVR, robotic process, automation, Internet of Things, big data analysis, chatbots, and desktop.
Put your hands together. Please come forward and let me know your name as you come forward. That was very, very apt. Yes. Congratulations. Okay, having said that. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, the question is this. While one of the speakers, while she was speaking, anyways, okay, she mentioned 2 generations. And she said their characteristics. I need you to come, mention the generation with their characteristics. Please, don't disappoint me. Please, somebody. This man in front. Look at him. Look, no. Yes. Your hand was up. Yes, give it to him.
Generation Y and Generation Z.
Yes.
For Generation Y, they're the guys who just prefer text. They don't want to talk to you anyway. And then for the Generation, they are both tech savvy, really, but the major difference is also for the Generation Y guys, they just want to text, sending messages, they prefer texting. While for the Generation Z, they go a bit further. They don't want to interact, they also want to have interaction. They rather go to
Advent.
Online portals or forums to get information or go to FAQs and other things basically.
Anybody else with a different idea? Because there's something I'm looking for, and I don't have it yet. Good. I don't have it yet, so somebody help me. Help me, please. Yes, good afternoon.
My name is Grace. Okay, I think what you said was Generation Y are the ones that want to do the FAQ, send SMSs, and they don't want to interact. And Generation Z want to do the same thing, but they don't ask you questions. They send
emoticons, that's what I was waiting for. Thank you so much. Please come ahead. Come. I was waiting for that. Please put your hands together. Thank you so much. In a bit, we'll be going for